Now, speaking of critical conditions, Ethiopia just passed a law that prohibits the use of Skype. Yes, to make calls. You are not allowed to use Skype if you are in Ethiopia. If you do, you're facing up to 15 years in prison. A lot of people were quite surprised when they heard about this. And it's like, where have you been? This kind of oppressive governance has been going on in Ethiopia for a long time. See, the Prime Minister, Meles Zenawi, came into power as a freedom fighter in 1991. This is 2012. He's still in power. Now, guess what? The whole of Ethiopia has one national TV. Of course, it is controlled by the government. One national TV for the whole of 80 million people. That's how much freedom of press they have in Ethiopia. It's not really freedom of press, it's like a freedom of oppression. And the radio station and the daily newspaper, it's like all controlled by the government, including the telecommunication. That means they're able to listen in to people's phone calls and they're able to read through their emails. Of course, the internet service provider is also the government, which is why they're able to ban the use of Skype. By the way, this prime minister still holds an election every 4 years because, you know, he's trying to be democratic. Except that he wins every time. In 2008, when they held this election, out of 547 seats in the parliament, the opposition party could only win 1 seat. And you know why he did that? Because in 2005, when he tried a really free and fair election, nobody voted for him. The opposition party won all the seats. Well, at least when they counted in Addis Ababa, which is the capital. And as soon as he was told that he didn't win in Addis Ababa, he told them to stop counting all the votes in other places. So he sent away foreign observers and then he told them, now recount the votes. And somehow he was still declared the winner of that election, even though the opposition party won all the seats in the capital. So the people of Ethiopia protested. They were like, this election is rigged. And guess what? He killed about 200 people, about 800 were injured, and he detained more than 40,000 people. 27 journalists were charged with treason, including 5 correspondents from Voice of America. That's why the Committee to Protect Journalists have declared Ethiopia as the leading source of exiled journalists in the world, with more than 200 Ethiopian journalists living in exile. So now that he banned the use of Skype, yes, don't be surprised. This has been going on for a long time. I'm just hoping that the people of Ethiopia will not give up until there's a revolution in Ethiopia. Just keeping it real. Now to a serious issue. I beg my people, don't commit fornication.